Class. All right, let's get this live on Facebook here. So excited, y'all. Excited. Uh-oh. I just pasted the wrong thing. My bad. Hold on. Let's get the right thing pasted. Oh my goodness. Crystal Lynn. Here we go. Boom. Copy. And then boom. Paste. Haha. And then copy and paste. Yay. Okay, share to your group. This is going to be the League of Badass Butterflies, which is a very cool name, I have to say. My League of Badass Butterflies, admit all. And we're going to make sure that, hold on, there we go. Oh, it is so nice to see you all here on Zoom. This is so cool. Oh my God, I love it. Hi, everyone. It's so good to see you here. And we've got the live stream going, and I see Roxanne has signed on too. And I've got Sarah and Marilyn and Dory. It is cool. And of course, Rebecca, Lolita, Roshan, and Dawn. Every time you do the double dutch, you really turn it on. Now, I know that you all know the double dutch bus. I was trying to explain that to Rebecca. If you know the double dutch bus, can I get a shout out? Like anybody who was born in 1970, between 1970 and 1980, you would know the double dutch bus. Let's just get a shout out for the double dutch bus, y'all. And I'm looking here on Facebook to see who's here. Hey, Casey, it's good to see you. And Nikita is here as well. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. Okay, so look, I have so much incredible material to cover. I'm going to dive right in because I want to make sure that I get us out on time. I want to respect your time. And y'all know I can just go on chatting forever because, you know, I love you all and I love this work that I'm doing. But I also want to honor your time, and it's Sunday and I want to let you get on with your Sunday things, right? Rebecca, I'm going to need you, and Roxanne. I see. I did not give you all the co-hosting duties. I'm making Rebecca and Roxanne my co-hosts here on Zoom because we have quite a party here on Zoom right now. So this is really fun. Thank you. Thanks for coming. So let's get started, okay? So I am Crystal Lynn Bell. I am a master spiritual life coach, and I'm also a worthiness advocate for women. Now, this is going to play in really strongly with the theme that we're going to be talking about over the next 5 days or 6 days, ladies, okay? Because your worthiness is going to need to be in place as you embark on your spiritual life coaching journey. So I help magical spiritual women become certified spiritual life coaches with thriving divine coaching businesses. And what that means is I help you envision, build, launch, and run your spiritual life coaching business, because the chances are you don't know how to do that, because that's not what they teach in high school. They don't even teach that at university. This is kind of a grandfathering system that people like me and people who have started even before me have kind of developed this system, and we're all kind of doing the same thing, and it seems to work really well, which is why we are teaching it in the way that we do. So I have created a curriculum, an entire certification program that will teach you how to be a spiritual life coach. It'll help you build your program, discover your ideal client, help you bring all your spiritual tools, and take all the pain that you've gone through. It'll help you bring all of that to the public so that the people in the world know that you are a coach with something really valuable to offer. Okay, so that's what I do. Oh, and I help you build the entire business around that. So I help you build your blog. I help you create your Facebook presence. I help you build your online curriculum and all these kinds of things, YouTube, all that stuff. I help you do all of that. So that's my job, okay? And today is the very first day of Spiritual Life Coach Startup Bootcamp. So this is a 5-day challenge where I'm going to take you on a deep dive into exactly what you need to have in place so that you can launch your spiritual life coaching business. So why am I doing that? Well, number one, the world needs more spiritual life coaches. Yes, we do, because too many people are using medication and marijuana and alcohol and Netflix to manage their lives instead of moving inward. Okay, so we're becoming sheep that are reliant on external things instead of turning toward God, source, the goddess, the angels, the higher realms for peace and comfort. So humans are confused, and you and I are not, okay? We know that inner peace is essential for being excellent in our relationships, for being excellent parents, for being good workers, for driving safely. We know that inner peace is the key for everything. Now, do not think that I expect you to be a woman who has mastered inner peace. That is not what I expect of you. But what I do expect is that you have a feeling inside of you that says, I feel like I want to help other people. I feel like I want to be a healer. I want to be a coach. I want to help people change their lives, okay? If you have that calling, then what I also expect of you is that you take that calling seriously and that you don't push it down, ignore it, or treat it like it doesn't matter. And I certainly hope, because I am a worthiness advocate, I certainly hope that you do not feel unworthy of the calling that Spirit has given you. This is the most important thing. Water. I brought water this time, y'all. Everybody who follows me in my League of Badass Butterflies Facebook group, everyone knows I usually show up thirsty, okay, talk a lot, need some water. I got my water filled with lemon to the brim. And yeah, it's so hot here in Paris that like I need water. I'm literally doing 3 liters of water today. So let's get a check-in from you all. If you are joining live, I need you in the comments to type live. And if you're watching the replay, please in the comments type replay. And let's see who's here. I've got Jew here. I see Nikita, yes. And I've got, look, you didn't tell me how to say your name, so I'm going to say it. Tangier. It's nice to see you, darling. Welcome, everyone. And Tina and Sim have also joined us. Thank you so much, ladies. All right. So let me get back over here to my notes and stay on track. Boom. Yes. Okay. So our theme for this boot camp is yes. All right. Yes is the word of the day, of the week, of the year. Why yes? Because yes is an affirmation of your worth. When you say yes to this calling to be a spiritual life coach, you are saying yes to the divine, but you are also saying, yes, I am worthy. And I need you all, everybody in the comments, don't matter where you are, live or replay, just type in yes, affirm yourself, affirm your worth. This is important because I'm not talking to anybody who's basic, okay? And by basic, that means like you don't see your value. You do things at a low level. And if you are in my realm, if you are in my sphere, you cannot be basic. So if there's a basic part of you, all right, so be it. I got a basic part of me too. But that basic part of me does not rule this kingdom. And that basic part of me does not drive my car, nor does that basic part of me make any decisions about anything. It can express its opinions, okay, and I will listen because I'm fair, but I do not allow the basic to drive me. So if you don't let your basic drive you, type yes in the comments and let's get this party started, y'all, okay? On Zoom, yes, we have a chat. Where's my chat? Couldn't find the chat. Here we go. Lots of chats in there. Yes. Okay, everybody's on board. Oh, Latoya's here. Latoya, I didn't see you. Come on. Hi, it's good to see you, darling. Haven't seen you for a little while. I'm glad you made it. So, y'all, let's talk about one thing that needs to happen. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping, all right? I want to make sure that everybody is successful during this boot camp, all right? So for every session this week, you are going to need a workbook, all right? If you haven't gotten the workbook, then you need to check your email, and you might need to dig it out of spam. So Rebecca and Roxanne, will you please put the download workbook link in the comments on Facebook and on Zoom, please, all right? So you'll need that workbook. All right, so we're going to be this is day one of the challenge, so you should have day one in your email folder. Now, for each day of the challenge this week, I need you to give me 1 hour, maybe 1 hour and 5 minutes, okay? I know you're busy, but you also know that I'm going to deliver you value, and the work that I'm doing is going to be deep. And we need to do a lot of work to build your blueprint. So we need to go deep. I need time. It's 1 hour a day for 5 days. And there's a bonus day also. So even for 6 days, that's going to be very helpful. Okay. The work we are doing today, this is a new moon day. This is a portal, which is one reason why I chose yes as the affirmation. Any resistance you feel is going to be working doubly against you, okay? Because this is a yes day. The moon is new. When the moon is new, resistance can come up, but this is not the time to give in to resistance. It is the time when this is one of those rare times when you're going to just focus on the yes, and you will push past any resistance that comes up for you. Yes, yes, yes. Yes to your higher self. Yes to your divine coaching business. Yes to your coaching certification, okay? Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to mark your calendars with the days and times of the event. Rebecca and Roxanne, please put that add event link so that they can just click that link and it will automatically add the dates to your Google Calendar or Apple Calendar or Outlook Calendar, whatever you're doing. They will pop that link in there for you. Get these dates on the calendar, set your alarms, show up. Try to show up here on Zoom or live. If you can't do that, then watch the replay. Make sure you catch that replay every day. Do not let your ego back you out and make other things the priority, okay? This is an opportunity. The door is open. Y'all need to be here every single day, soaking this up, saying yes every day. Do you realize what we are doing to your vibration right now? Can you all feel this? The energy is open. The answer is yes. Whatever you put out in the universe is coming real for you. So just keep saying yes. Don't let bullshit come in and throw you off of this track. Okay? Now, boom, boom, boom. I got all that said. I'm looking at my notes. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let me just give you a little understanding of why this challenge is so powerful, okay? This is what we're gonna be doing over the next 5 days, 6 days, really with the bonus. First of all, you're gonna develop a clear vision of yourself as a spiritual life coach. So you're gonna know what you bring to the table, and you're going to have a deep understanding of why you are qualified to serve people, all right? Now, your qualifications are not the same as knowing what to do with those qualifications, okay? You still have to learn that, but knowing that you have qualifications is half the battle, all right? Now, we don't want you feeling doubtful. We don't want you self-sabotaging. We want you aligned with the yes and the highest version of yourself, all right? Now, your divine coaching business blueprint is going to lay out the vision, all right? And I should have said that today and tomorrow, we are going to be looking at your qualifications, what you bring to the table, okay? On tomorrow is Monday. So on Tuesday, that's day 3, we are going to lay out your divine coaching business blueprint. That is your vision, okay? You're like an architect building your own business or your own building. You have a blueprint and then you have a plan, right? So day 3 is the vision, and day 4, I'm going to create the plan for you. And then on day 5, okay, we are going to talk about how you can break free from your coaching, from your job, so that you can ease yourself into your coaching business, okay? All right, so day 3, we're working on your vision. Day 4, we're gonna do the roadmap, right? Because having a vision is one thing, but if you don't know the steps to take in order to make that vision real, there's no point. There's no point in having a vision without having a plan, okay? It's not going to just materialize. That's not how it works, all right? Now, day 6, I'm going to do a bonus, and I'm going to talk to you about your mindset, and we're also going to look at money, how to make money as a spiritual life coach, all right? Now, okay, boom, boom, boom. Also, you know, I'm going to be talking to you all a lot about myself and my work as a coach, because you're going to be walking in my footsteps. You're going to be doing this kind of work. So when I'm talking about myself, it's not to brag. It's actually to show you that this can be done. I am someone who was a lot like you. I was not doing this work. I had to have a spiritual awakening, okay? I was working in a dental office, doing insurance billing, sending people to collections, okay? You know, writing out collections letters, you know, billing insurance companies, trying to beg them to pay us for work that we did. It was highly ungratifying. It was not the thing that I wanted to do. I had to change my mindset, and I had to go for the business that I really wanted. And I did that. So I'm sharing my story so that you will be inspired, and you know that you can break free from whatever circumstances you're in and step into empowerment, okay? So, as I said, actually, wait, let me pause one moment and just check in on Facebook and see who's here. I see Michelle is here, and everybody's yesing me. Yes, thank you, very good. Good to see you, Michelle, welcome. All right, excellent. And let me check also through the chat here on Zoom. Good morning, hi everybody, boom, boom, boom. Excellent, Otter is here. All right, excellent. Everybody's doing their thing. Yes, absolutely. Perfect. Everybody's on board. Woot! Let's get this, let's go and get going into the next thing. All right, let's close that down. Okay, so let me tell you all a little bit about my story, because you're probably, if you've never met me before, then you're probably wondering, who is this chick? What are her qualifications to be talking all this talk? All right. So my name is Crystal Lynn Bell, and I have been a spiritual life coach for now over 11 years. And I have been a healer for, let's see, since 2002. So that is 21 years. So I've been a healer for 21 years, and I've been supporting myself through my own healing work for over 21 years. I had a day spa or a wellness studio in Long Beach called Everyday Zen Relaxation Studio. I started it in 2008 and I sold it. Okay, so I was working there in 2008. I built this incredible studio. It was amazing. I was doing massage and I had anywhere from 13 to 20 people working for me at any time. We did herbalism, acupuncture, we did facials and skincare. We had a tea room. I had a boutique. We sold tarot cards, yoga clothing. We did yoga. We did meditation. We taught astrology. We did all the things, and it was really phenomenal. It was a wonderful experience, and I loved it. However, so I started that in 2008, and when I first opened that business, Spirit gave me the download and said, you're going to sell the business within 3 years, and then you're going to move on to the next thing. Well, I didn't listen to Spirit. I should have listened to Spirit, but I did not. I stayed in the business for 5 years, but I had an opportunity to sell at 3 years. The business was highly profitable. The business never operated in the red. So contrary to many new businesses that lose money during their first couple of years, my business did not lose money because I'm very, very blessed with an incredible business acumen. I'm very blessed. So set that business up, should have sold it 3 years, sold it 5, decided that I wanted to be a life coach, and I wanted to travel the world. So that's what I did, okay? Now, when I became a life coach, I learned a lot about spirituality, and but I learned nothing about how to apply all this spiritual knowledge. So they gave me a whole bunch of spiritual knowledge, but they did not teach me how to apply that to people. They did not teach me how to understand the emotions of people. They did not teach me how to understand the past of what people were going through. It was a bit generic. Even though it was spiritual, it was a bit generic. And I loved learning what I learned, but it was not what I needed to actually be successful in my business, okay? So I set out trying to build my business, and I really fumbled for 5 years. There were times when I made only $15,000 for the whole year. I was living off of my credit cards, and it was very, very hard. So the work that I do now through my certification program is based on what I've gone through, understanding that that is a fucked up way to treat a person, to take them through and say, oh yeah, you're going to be a coach, and not to warn them that you need to build an entire business system in order for you to actually support yourself, right? So my whole thing is educate people, let them know the truth so that you can go forward knowing, because when you know, you can plan. And that's what we're doing with Spiritual Life Coach Startup Bootcamp. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. And that way, when you get ready to do your certification, I'm going to give you an opportunity to start that this week. Okay, I'm going to give you an opportunity to start your certification process this week. All right, if that is exciting for you, by the end of boot camp, you're going to know what that can look like and how you can do it. And yes, you can start this week. All right, so that's my story. That's how I came here. And what I want to do today, this is what we're going to do today. We are going to, oh, Rebecca, I need a link, please. Can you put that in our messenger chat, the link for today's workbook, please? Yes. So what we're going to do today is talk about your spiritual gifts of magic. Thank you, darling. I'm gonna get that open right now so that my computer can, right, and then let's pull that out. There we go. Boom, all done. Thank you. All right. So you have spiritual gifts that maybe, look, I say you were born with them, but maybe you didn't know that you had them. And maybe you awakened to them in different ways and over different parts of your life, okay? Your spiritual gifts of magic, that's what I call these. In order for you to be able to complete the divine coaching blueprint, you have to know what you bring to the table. So your spiritual gifts of magic are the first category of things that you bring to the table, to the coaching table, okay? So your divine coaching business blueprint that we're working on building over these next 3 or 4 days is designed, it has 3 different parts. It has your spiritual gifts of magic, your spiritual gifts of experience, and your ideal client archetype. These are the 3 key ingredients that we need to work on in order for you to be able to have a really clear vision for your divine coaching business, okay? Now, today we're focusing on your magic. So your spiritual gifts of, well, actually, let me say one more thing. There are 2 sets of spiritual gifts that I've just said, magic and experience. Both of these come from the goddess or the divine feminine. Now, the divine feminine is wild, unchained, infinite energy. She is life force energy. She is Shakti. She is Kundalini. She is nature. She is Gaia. She is Kali. She is all that. Okay. And she is also the provider of your spiritual gifts of magic and your spiritual gifts of experience. Okay. Now, your spiritual gifts of magic are your woo-woo. Okay. These come to you because you have a very strong connection to the unseen world. And the connection can be conscious or it can be unconscious. But these are things that are coming to you naturally. Sure, you can go and take a class and enhance your intuition. You can go and get Reiki certified to enhance the Reiki that is within you, but nobody from outside is giving you anything, okay, that you don't already have. Not me, not anybody, because we are infinite. We are everything, okay? We can open up your mind. You may not have had an open mind, but actually that's you opening up your mind, okay? So you know that you have spiritual gifts. You are intuitive, empathic. You get chills, okay? You get downloads. You're very aware of synchronicities. You watch the breadcrumbs. You see 11:11 and you're like, ooh, chills, right? I know, because I do it too, but it's a real thing, all right? So you are a magical woman and you're working magic all the time. So your spiritual gifts of magic are gifts from the goddess. And in order for you to be successful as a life coach, you have to tap into these gifts. All right. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to hop into the workbook and I'm going to share my screen, Zoom, share screen, boom, share. Okay, so this is our workbook for day 1. Again, if you don't have the workbook, you need to download it. Okay, Rebecca and Roxanne have put the links for you. And just by the way, y'all, our quote, our affirmation is really important. This is a lifelong affirmation that I want all of you all to be taking on for everything. I am perfectly capable of learning everything I need to be a successful spiritual life coach with a thriving business and a calendar full of clients who love me and pay me for the transformation I bring to their lives. Super powerful affirmation. I love it. And yeah, it's really important for you as well. All right, so this is where we are on page 4 of the workbook, okay? And what I want you all to do right now in the workbook is to simply respond true, somewhat false, or false to each of these statements, okay? So the first statement is, you rely heavily on your intuition and your feeling nature to make big decisions, and you trust your intuition 100%, even when things are mysterious and you don't know how things are going to happen. Is that true, somewhat false, or false? And then the next question, y'all just go ahead and start filling those in. I'm going to just move through this very quickly. Second statement, you have the habit of practicing some form of inner work, such as journaling, shadow work, light work, healing, meditation, or yoga every single day, right? That's true, somewhat false, or false. And you find yourself courageously, this is number 3, you find yourself courageously taking big risks on your intuition. When it says jump, you say, woohoo, yes! How high do you want me to jump? Right? Exactly. Now look, why am I asking you all to do this? Because you all have magic, you have magic within you, but how much you access that magic is dependent on your relationship with the divine. So the more connected you are to the divine, the more access you have to your magic. So if without the divine, you're at a 5, with the divine, you'll be at a 10. Do you see what I mean? Right? We're just using this divinity as a way to understand our own personal expansion. So statement number 4, you are in a deep relationship with your soul and you are committed and you're passionately living out your divine life purpose now. You will let nothing stop you from manifesting what your soul needs and desires, right? So again, true, somewhat false, false. You can write in these workbooks, by the way. Just make sure that if you have the workbook in your browser, make sure you download the workbook and save it. Otherwise, you will lose it when you close your browser. So go ahead and save that puppy right now on your computer. If you're on your phone, you may not be able to save it. Just come back to it later or answer all these questions in your notes, okay? But just keep in mind, you can lose the stuff, so be careful. All right, number 5. You get clear messages that are not blocked by the limitations of your rational thinking mind. Woo, that's a hard one. You get clear messages that are not blocked by the limitations of your rational thinking mind. Is that true? Somewhat false? False? Number 6, you can talk or write about the information you receive from the divine, and you know how to make that information show up in physical form, right? So you get a whole bunch of information from the divine and you know how to put words to it. This is an art form. Not everybody knows how to do this, y'all. I see a lot of people struggling to get the words out. They don't know how to communicate the stuff. You got to learn how to do that if you don't know how, all right? And writing it is a totally different ball game, y'all. Like being able to put spirit into writing is another art form. Don't take it for granted, okay? If you know how to do it, you know, go ahead, rate yourself on that. So in the chat or in the comments, if you're on Facebook or here in Zoom with me, put in like what you discovered. Like put the one that you did best, number 1 through 6, the one that you feel most fully connected with. And let me check in with you and see how you did. And while you all are doing that, I want to just kind of tell you that as a spiritual life coach and healer, you have to train yourself and you have to deepen your relationship with the divine feminine, because she is the starting point of your spiritual gifts of magic and experience, okay? And she is always the starting point where you begin when you work with a client. You're never going to start your work with a client in your own head. You're never going to start with your own ego. Fuck that. Nobody is coming to you so that they can see your ego, right? People are coming to you because you are a channel for the divine. So the more you dive into the divine feminine, the more you are going to be able to move your ego aside and give people what they truly need. Now, I'm going to give you all a word of warning. Do not think that you only need the divine feminine in your business. That is not true. That is a falsehood, and you will fail if you do things one-sided. When's the last time you saw a building standing just on one side, right? Did you feel safe going into that building that was one-dimensionally tilted? No, okay, except for the Leaning Tower of Pisa, okay? No building is meant to be like that. Why? Because a building needs a left side and a right side. It needs balance, in other words. You need the divine feminine and you need the divine masculine. The two have to be working together. Likewise, you don't want to be too in your masculine, okay? Today we're talking about the feminine. Tomorrow we're talking about the feminine. But days 3 and 4 are dedicated to the masculine. That's why you all want to stay for all days of these sessions, okay? Because you need the two to work together and you need to learn how the two are going to work together, all right? Now, let's get into the next phase of the workbook. Let me find my workbook. Okay, here we go. There's my workbook. Okay. Oh, and let me check in and see what you all said. Let me go to Facebook. Facebook is here, hidden behind us. Here we go. All right, so let me check in and see what you all put. Michelle is strongest in number 1, using your intuition. Excellent. KC says she needs to develop her masculine. Yes, I know what you mean, girl. When I first came out of spiritual life coaching school, I only had the feminine. They gave me no masculine whatsoever. And that's why I was only making $15,000 a year. And that was from, you know, like from a side hustle, like a side hustle for my business. I didn't have a clue about how to run my business. So yes, that was very hard. Now let me check in here. Latoya says, writing about the info I received from the divine is her strength. Tina also writing from the divine. Yes, excellent. Dory also the writing. Y'all, I'm strong in the writing too. I think actually I'm probably more strong in the first one, like Michelle, like heavily relying on my intuition for things. But interestingly, I write or type, and that intuition really starts to flow. So I think that we're probably all in the same boat. And for you, Michelle, if you wanted to venture into the writing or to open that up more, then you could, if you wanted to open up the intuition more, you could try writing and see how that works for you. I bet you it would be very interesting. All right, let me get to the workbook now, and let's get on to the next page. Here we go. Okay, so, and actually, I'm going to pause the screen share for one moment while I talk to you about what we're doing, okay? So, as I said, you all are blessed with many, many gifts from the Divine Feminine. Lots of gifts. Intuition, downloads, writing, empathy, compassion, just knowing things, the ability to connect, intimacy, the ability to feel your feelings. All of these things are gifts from the goddess, okay? Now, what we're going to do now is to give you a few moments to explore a really cool list of magical gifts, skills, talents, and traits that are very, very spiritual, okay? These are all spiritual and magical traits and skills. And what I'm going to want you to do is to rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 to 3. And actually, wait, I should not have stopped my screen share. Crystal Lynn, share your screen. It's only fair because, actually, wait, hold on. There we go. It's only fair because this is pretty intense, okay? So here's the list, y'all, okay? And this goes on for 2 pages, okay? The lists go on here and here. And what you're going to do is to rate yourself on these spiritual gifts of magic. Now, during this live session, I am not waiting for you to do all of these, to rate yourself on all of them, because there are 66 of them, okay? So we're not gonna wait here while you all do this. This will be part of your home fun, okay? But what I'm gonna do, what I think I'll have you do right now is simply, well, first let me tell you how this works, okay? So what you're gonna do is rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 for each one of these, all right? 0 to 3 being little or no connection at all. 4 to 6 being, I have some kind of a connection, but it's not developed. And then 7 or higher is, yes, I have this and I am developing it. Like, this is yours, you own it, you rock it. And yes, you're still expanding it, but you own it, right? So that is your home fun for this evening, to go through and rate yourself on all of these. Now, the way this list is set up is there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, okay? So there are qualities, or these are qualities and traits of spirituality. They're also things that you do, okay? So these are spiritual things you can do. These are biblical, meaning all of these things are some kind of a way mentioned in the Bible, okay? The traditional Bible, Judaic, Christian Bible, all right? So this is just a way to categorize these. It doesn't mean you have to use them in a biblical sense. It's just where I'm getting them from, okay? Now, this next section comes from extrasensory perception, right? So this is a different way of sometimes even saying some of the same things that are here, but this might be a different way for you to engage, okay? So the extrasensory perception goes on from number 16 through number 40, okay? And then I have another section that I put in here that are related to the chakras, right? The 7 major energy centers. And these are just, again, all of these words are different ways for connecting to spirit and divine energies and unseen gifts or traits or qualities that we all possess. And you might recognize, hey, I'm really strong with singing, but maybe you think I'm weak with channeling. So over here at number 28, maybe you put a 0, but over here you put a 10 because you love singing here at number 49, but you're like, I don't know how to channel, but you don't even realize that when you're singing, you're channeling, you know? So this is why I set it up this way, because it gives you an opportunity to maybe not recognize here, but you catch it over here, okay? So that's how you're going to do this section. Oh, and then these, this last section, I just called these human, because these are kind of like human qualities, right? Things that we as humans just talk about. So that's why it's set up this way. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. And I want you just to start the home fun section right now. And everybody, the timer is set for 1 minute already. Just go in there and rate yourself on as many as you can get done in 1 minute. And then you can finish this later, okay? So the timer is set. And if you don't know what something is, you can, you know, while you're doing this later, you can look it up, or you can just say, I don't even know what that is. I'm just going to put in a 0. It's okay. All right. And then the assignment is going to go on, and I'll tell you all about that when the minute has gone up or has expired. Okay. One of the things I love about this exercise is just kind of seeing in one spot all the spiritual gifts of magic that exist. You know, this isn't all of them, of course. These are just the ones that I know. These are the ones that I be rocking, that I've got an intimate relationship with. Okay, so that was 1 minute, y'all. 1 minute goes very quickly. Please, in the comments, tell me, I want you all to tell me which ones, you don't have to tell me all of them. I'd like to know your strongest gift of magic, your strongest magical gift. Pop that in the comments for me, okay? Now, the next step, while you all are popping that in the comments, I'm gonna advance my page here. We're now on page 7 in the workbook. And I'm going to get back to my notes so I tell you all to do the right thing here. Now, again, keeping in mind you have not gone through this whole list, I want you to go through the whole list, okay? And once you've gone through the whole list, I want you to look at all these magical gifts, talents, skills, and traits. And the ones that you give a 7 or more, I want you to write them down in this workbook, in this section here that I'm kind of drawing, like right here. I'm assuming you all can see my screen. I hope that works. I better check in and make sure. Dory's giving me a thumbs up. Thank you, darling. I really appreciate that. Wonderful. Excellent. Perfect. So when you're done with your home fun, you're going to write down all your gifts of magic where you have a 7 or more, okay? Now, why a 7 or more? Because these are gifts. Remember, I said you own these. You're not going to doubt these. These are the ones that you're like, I own these. I may not be perfect at them, but I believe in these. These work for me very often, okay? That means that you own them, and they are giving you a clear indication of the power of your gifts. This is where you have confidence, okay? Now, When you commit to doing this work as a life coach, when you say yes to the divine, your natural gifts are going to naturally increase because you've said yes. So when you say yes to becoming a coach, your spirit and your mind are going to align, and your brain is going to open and expand because you've said yes. That's how we work. So everybody in the comments, wherever you are, Facebook, Zoom, type yes. I say yes to my certification process. I say yes. I don't have to know how. I say yes. And I say yes to my expansion of my gifts, the expansion of my mind. Okay? All right. So this is, we're opening the door. If you will say yes out loud, that is going to be even better for you as you say it, yes, and you type it, yes. And yes, do what Dory did. She just did like a yes. Put some body into it. That's right. When we're done, everybody get up and do a happy dance, you know, do the nay, okay? Just put it all out there, man. Get your body involved because that's what the universe is responding to. It's no joke, all right? This is powerful manifestation medicine. Now, the next thing we're going to do in the workbook, okay? Right down here at the bottom of page 7 in the workbook, okay? I'm looking at the pages here in my notebook because we need to start putting page numbers in the workbook, Rebecca. For the future reference, darling, they need page numbers. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is write down the 3 highest scored, right? So you're going to go through, you're going to score them all. You're going to put everything that you did 7 or more, you're going to put that in this box, and then you're going to write down your top 3. Okay, those are going to go here. All right. Now, of course, you are going to want to use all your magical gifts in your practice. Okay. And you're going to do that. It's natural to do that. But for the sake of clarity, discipline, and structure, okay, this is moving into the divine masculine a little bit. The feminine is like, I'm going to use it all and I'm going to focus on everything, which worked for nobody, okay? Jack of all trades, master of none. Sadly, that is true. You're going to identify your top 3, okay? Because that is going to help you understand where your strongest gifts are. And these are also your most reliable gifts. They're the ones that you are most likely using all the time now. And you have probably been developing these naturally throughout your life without even knowing it. Okay, they are your second nature. And so these are going to serve you most reliably in the future, right? And as you go forward and you're building your coaching program and you're building your transformational products and you're working with people, you need to know your strengths. So far, through this worksheet, you've really gotten an idea. Well, you will have after you've done the exercise, you will have gotten a really good idea of where your strengths are in a variety of ways, and you've narrowed them down and you'll know your top 3, and that is important, okay? Now, let's see, did I show you here? Yes, I did. So these 3 things that you're writing here are going to be like your superpowers. So everybody, if you haven't already, put your top 3 in the comments for me so that I can see them. Okay, look, I'm looking here. I see Dory says yes to her expansion of her gifts and the expansion of her mind. Yes. Tina says yes to my certification and expansion of her mind. Yes. And Latoya says yes to my expansion of my gifts and the expansion of my mind. Yes. Y'all are just rocking it over here. Dory says she's got a lot. Yep, you do have a lot. Dory, excellent. Warmth, empathy, all those. Yeah, that's just without even having done the work. Excellent. Let me get on Facebook. Hold on, let me find it. I got to move us out of the way. There we go. On Facebook, Michelle is like, yes to expansion, yes to the gifts. Casey is yes, Jew is yes, everybody's yes, yes, yes. Woo, woo, woo. Excellent. All right, very good, y'all. Oh, and Jew says the strongest is channeling. Casey says she's strong in writing. Right, excellent, y'all. Thank you so much also for the feedback. Now, okay. Let me go back to the workbook because there's one more section here that we have to do. So let's see, make sure I can see this here. Yep, it is saved. So here is your home fun. Obviously, you've got to fill in all those blanks. Then what I need you all to do is, order everything in the next section. And then here's the actual home fun exercise that I need you to do. This is on page 8, and it goes on, okay, we're gonna come back to that, right? So this is page 8, and then there's a little extra credit thing at the end that we're gonna do. So this section is called Home Fun Exercise, How My Magic Serves Me. So you all have all these gifts of magic, and you just have to answer the question in the space provided, okay? And keep in mind that this is based on your top 3 spiritual gifts of magic, all right? So after you've done the first part, then you'll look at the top 3 and do this part, okay? So you're gonna ask yourself, how do my spiritual gifts of magic serve me? Question number 1, in my personal life. So how do I use my magic when I need to manage my emotions? When I need to manage my energy, my focus, my mindset, or when I'm managing goals, okay? So an example of this would be, let's say that like one of my strong gifts is writing, okay? Like Dory, like the ladies on, like everybody has said, okay? In my personal life, I use writing as a way to sit down and channel the divine and to get really clear. Also, what I write, for me, brings it into form. So in this space, I would write that my gift of writing helps me, blah, blah, blah. My gift of intuition helps me, blah, blah, blah. And so I might say for writing, I might say, write goals and make plans that I can stick to. And this is my gift of intuition, might help me discern the wisest path on reaching my goals. Ignore my typos, right? So, and then you would do that for each of your 3 spiritual gifts, okay? Now, again, using your 3 spiritual gifts, you want to answer the question, how does my magic serve me in managing my personal circumstances such as health, home, education, career, and hobbies? So these are circumstances that you are in. So let's say that you were dealing with inflammation. I'm telling you all my own personal issues, okay? I'm using myself as the guinea pig here. My gift of writing, okay, helps me, blah, 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 okay, deal with inflammation by writing messages from my spirit guides. which is what I do. That's exactly how I overcame inflammation. You know, it was like, what do I do? Why do I have this inflammation? Asking why in writing. Okay, I don't need to write all that out, but this is where I want you to go with this, okay? My intuition helps me by intuiting which Google sites I should use to support my spirit guide, my spirit's guidance, right? On and on. Okay, do that for all three of your gifts. The next one, okay, how do I use my spiritual gifts of magic in my job, right? Obviously, I'm a spiritual life coach. I write out messages and scripts that help people, blah, blah, blah. I intuit. I use my intuition to help me listen to my clients and to understand what it is that is actually the issue. While they're saying one thing, my intuition goes in and pulls out the truth of what's going on. My intuition is excellent, by the way, right? So again, using your top 3 gifts of magic, how do you use them at your job, okay? And in my relationships, how do I use my spiritual gifts of magic in my relationships? Okay, that'll be interesting with writing, but this is how I use writing. I use writing as a way to help me smooth any kinks when my relationships need help, right? Again, for me, writing is a way of communicating with my spirit guides, you know? So please, ladies, that is how you're going to use these questions. I want to make sure that you all don't have questions. If you do, please type them into the chat and let me know, okay? Facebook, I'm checking on you, and we're already at the end, but don't worry because we're also at the end. KC says, clairsentience, discernment, and love. Those are beautiful gifts. Yes, excellent. All right, very good. So ladies, believe it or not, we're actually ready to wrap this up. Okay, we've done a very good job. Let's see. While we're wrapping up for today, okay, I'm gonna stop the screen share. You all are clear about what the home fun is. You know what to do. I would really love to see your feedback. So if you would do the work and then check in with me in the League of Badass Butterflies, that would be helpful. Just make a post, share with us your insights. That would be very helpful. All right. Now, as we're wrapping up, I want to give you this thought to consider. What is the biggest challenge to your spiritual gifts of magic? Okay. I'm going to venture. I've been doing this a long time. I believe that not trusting is the biggest challenge. You all can type in what you think. I'm going to tell you what I think. The biggest challenge is distrust. I hear a lot of people saying that they cannot hear their intuition. They don't trust the communication from their spirit guides because they don't trust their own interpretation of what the spirit guides are saying. They don't trust their own interpretation of the messages, okay? So in other words, distrust is standing between you and the goddess, okay? Distrust comes in and puts a wall between you and the goddess. And what we want is for you to embrace a new relationship with the goddess, with your intuition, with your gifts, and trust, okay? I want you to start bringing in trust. And I also I want to do this. I want to say this very sincerely, with all my heart and with tremendous passion. You are always safe in God. When you don't feel safe, it's simply because you're living that hashtag human life. Excuse me. And there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being human. But we have a choice. We have the choice to choose God or ego. The human self is the egoic self. You have made the decision to become a spiritual life coach, and y'all are yesing in the comments. You're yesing in your heart. Do not let distrust of yourself, of the world, of what happened to you in the past, of other people. Don't let distrust of anything come in here and rob you of your divine inheritance. If you've been following me here, you know what I mean by divine inheritance. That's your right to live your badass life. A caterpillar's right to go from caterpillar to butterfly is its divine inheritance. You have the same thing. You have the right to choose your higher self. So taking a leap of faith is what you're going to need to do in order to thrive as a spiritual life coach, in order to make this real. Every day, I'm asking you to take a leap of faith for yourself, and a leap of faith in me. My name is Crystal Lynn Bell, and I'm a spiritual life coach. I've done this. I've created all of this that you're experiencing, and I've created a certification program to help you step into this vocation with confidence, with safety, with step-by-step processes, okay? I know my program works. The only reason you would not be successful is because of your distrust, not because of you, because who you are is the same as who I am. Magnificence, light, God in human form. So you are not an issue. Yeah, ego might be an issue, okay? So what I want you to do is to take a leap of faith and dive into this work. I want you for the next 5 days, yesing everything. When a no comes up, you say, huh, yes. Okay, don't say yes to the no. Okay, don't say yes to the no. Push that no down for 5 days, okay? It ain't gonna hurt you to push that no down. Just be like, yeah, I ain't doing that no. Yes, I ain't doing that no. So yes to everything. Yes to my spiritual gifts. Yes to my experiences. Yes to my clients. Yes to this process. And see what happens. I already know what's going to happen. You're going to have a mindset shift. You're going to have an energetic shift. Your life is going to change. I already know it because that's how it works. I've been doing this now for 11 years. I get it. All right. That is it for us. Okay. For today, we will be back here tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Workbook number 2 is already in your inbox. Okay. And yeah, that's it for me, y'all. Signing off. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.